Well, welcome back to me weekly yarns. Well, what have we managed to get done this week? Right, well, we've been busy with the valve chest. We've cleaned and polished all of the internals that came out of the valve. All the spools, the springs, everything's had a wire brush, a clean up. We've got that all done. The quadrant, we're getting the quadrant finished. I'll give you a little walk around later. And the quadrant's done. We've had the Dremel out. We've cleaned all the little tail ends of paint and everything off that. We've put in the valve chest itself through a good few more heat cycles, and yes, it's still stuck. So what we're going to do is just going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to talk to Barclays, not Barclays Bank. Barclays, the people, the hydraulics people. Apparently they refurbish these valves. So I'm going to give them a ring. Not be next week because I'm busy all next week. So it'll be the week after. I'll give them a bell. We'll have a discussion about the valve body, the valve chest, and we'll see what they say. They might turn around and just go, "Nah, you're wasting your time with that one." Like so. We'll see. We'll see. They refurbish them, so it might be that I can take my bits down. They will extract that final piece that's from the lowering valve, isn't it? So we might get that done. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This weekend there's a steam and traction show on up at Corbridge, about 40 miles from us. So we're going to nip along there this weekend. We're all going. Gemma's going, taking the kids. Barry's going, taking his kids. I think it'll be a good weekend out. It's supposed to be dry, supposed to be sunny. There is a bit of a gale blowing at the minute, and apparently it's going to continue to blow. But hey, if it stops dry, it stops dry. That's the good thing, isn't it? So as long as it stops dry, you can always just avoid the wind if you can. I'm going to take the phone up, obviously, and we'll try and get some video. God knows if we'll get any audio because of the wind. It might just be a lot of like random videos with a bit of music over the top of it for you. But we'll give you a show around. Let's see what it's like. You never know. There'll be some. Hopefully there'll be some David Browns there that we can get a look at and talk to some people and get a few exchanges off them. Tell you what I did find the other day though. Really good tip. I was doing a drop in Belsier, and the fella over the road, little garage in the middle of Belsier, apparently he's into Davy Brown tractors, ex-military man and all. So I'm going to pop up there once I've done my week's work. I'm going to pop up there and have a chat with him and see if we kind of pick his brains about a few things as well. You never know, do you? Right, well then, let's have a look at what we've been doing, and we'll see you on the tail end of this video. Right, so what are we getting done this week then? Got lots of baggies across here. Getting a lot of canny bit of cleaning done this week. We're doing alright so far. Had the Dremel out. 2 ticks. Quadrant. Find stuff, places to put stuff. Had the quadrant out. Getting the Dremel into here. Getting all these cleaned out round the posts cleaned out. Corners. Because I couldn't get in here with the wire wheel. But it's getting there. It's nearly finished. I'm going to give it one more hit with a big wire wheel over the top. Just to make sure that no little bits of surface rust crept back in. Had the Dremel on here into the corners. Because these corners, you couldn't, like in here, in the back of the handle here, you couldn't get in with a wire wheel, and this, it's where the little spring catches on the quadrant. You latch the spring into there. You couldn't get in with a wire wheel, and I didn't want to force it in because I didn't want to bend or pull this apart. So I just waited. I got the Dremel in yesterday, got it all cleaned out. just about ready. More rail for it. Right, that was one of the jobs we did. So, remember these seal carriers? Well, didn't notice this till yesterday, right? That one, we'll measure them in a minute. That one nice and round. This one, like a world-class rugby ball. Get the vernier, 2 seconds. What happened was, when I took the final drives, or when I went to take the final drives off the axle many moons ago, I remember thinking to myself, this is going to be a struggle. All the nuts and bolts, or the bolts, because no nuts on, so all the bolts will be rusted in, they'll be absolutely solid, they'll probably shear, and then in the back of my mind I was thinking to myself, maybe better if they do shear, because then we can get the final drives off and drill all the crap out of the holes, you know what I mean. When I get the final drives off, every single nut and bolt, every single bolt was loose. It was finger tight. Didn't even need a spanner. So, I can remember when we stripped these out, I'll put a little picture up here. If you look at the dowels there, look at the state of them dowels. The dowel that was in the flange on the axle, how it was bent and the hole was all worn. Well, that's because the bolts were slack, and obviously somebody had been driving the tractor with the bolts slack on both sides. I didn't get people to do that, you know what I mean? But anyway, obviously what's happened is, with the weight of the tractor, the final drives have bent up. They've come up the way, and the shafts have been coming up. Consequently, we've got a hole in there. Let's see if we can get somewhere better for to measure this for you. Right. So these seal carriers, you can see it in there more pronounced because of and that's why I noticed it, because of the red oxide primer. See how it's extremely thin here and it's thicker here. Right, well now, if we put our vernier in there, 47, I can feel that pulling back in, 44.7, that's 3 mil. 45, 47, 47.5 on the long side. .45. You can physically see that slide moving. But anyway, it's not toast, because the seals go in there and the seals seal the shaft. This doesn't seal the shaft. I've got a spare pair anyway, haven't I? Because what's been happening is the shaft, see which way this has been sitting. Been sitting that way, you can see by the smoothness on there. That's the top. The shaft's been sitting in the top of the hole here, rubbing away. Now what I'm going to have to do now is, when I get back across to the farm and I uncover the final drives out of that box, I'm going to have to check the shaft for wear. Hopefully the shaft isn't worn. Hopefully this is gone. Hopefully this has been the softer material and this is what's worn, and not the drive shaft. But if it is, Colin will have one. We'll get one off Colin, but you can see it in there. And yet, where's the shadows of that? You can see it in there that it's much thicker here than it is here. See, and that's when I noticed it. And this one. Let's have a look at this one. I think my little vernier has just died. I'll have to put a battery in it. Right. I'll be careful, there's a little key in here. So we're getting this all cleaned out, dressed up. Actually fits now. A little key. So I'll just back that up. I'll not know until I pull that spare axle out of the box. I can't remember if that is still on the axle or not. But I've got one there anyway. If it's not, I've got that one there. This the camel's humps. You've seen the camel's hump, they've been cleaned before, haven't they? Right, they've been cleaned. But this time I've got, this is for my grubby little fingers on here. But the keep plates been done, nuts, bolts, washers have been all wire brushed up. Let us know in the comments. I just wire brush with washers and put them back on. Oh, there's Daddy Blackbird sitting on the fence. They've got another nest full of young chicks again there this morning. So all the nuts and bolts have been cleaned. No, I keep saying nuts and bolts. All the bolts have been wire brushed and cleaned up. Screws have been done. Camel's humps are sorted. They just need to be, next time we've got a bit of paint out. We'll splash a bit of paint on them and stop them going rusty. Or I might just leave them and assemble the axle and paint the axle in one. You never know. Right. So, we'll get cleaned up here a bit. I'll get these valve chest bits out. I want to get them up one piece at a time because I don't want to get them all mixed up. And I'll use this exercise and all to go through that and see what we have and what we haven't got. I think at the minute we're only 2 bits short. And that I think the 2 bits that we're missing is obviously the screen at the bottom, which I'm getting out, and it gets wrecked getting it out. And I think the little aluminium disc above it. I've got the screw, remember I found that in the bottom of the axle? Got the screw, got that, the dowty washer be replaced, this dowty washer needs to be replaced. But I've got everything else, this, still stuck. It will come out. Barclay Williams, I'm going to have a talk to Barclay Williams some point in the future. It'll not be next week, not be this week coming, because I'm working this week coming. But hopefully the week after that we'll have a word with them about this and see if they've got any advice on how to pull this out of here. Right, let's get cleaned up here and get a bit of space. Right, this little bag contains everything that we've got so far out of the bypass valve and a little bit more. So what we've got the insert, the spring, the cap, the dowty washer which will get replaced. They're the 2 O-rings out of the little valve block. We've got the bottom, we've got the screen which is broken, so we'll put that there, and we have the brass screw that's the insert. So the bits that are missing, as I say, that I need a screen and I need an aluminium disc for there. Right. You see they've been cleaned, polished. What I did with these was, this one especially, got a piece of wooden dowel, put it in my drill chuck, wrapped it up with a bit of Scotch Brite so it was thicker, squeezed it into the back of here, and I polished this with Scotch Brite and Brasso. Tin of Brasso there. Put a little bit of Brasso on, give it a clean out, give it a good wash. Remember I had a bit of corrosion on the site. There's a little tiny bit of pitting on there. See it? Tiny bit of pitting. But the spring's okay. I've dressed the head of that up. A little bit, it needs a bit more. There's still a bit of a burr on there, but I think I quite about them. I think they're someone's wanting about 22, 23 quid for one of them. As I say, that's the little screen. Totally wrecked. But I'll keep it. I keep everything like that. I keep all the parts till I get replacement parts. Because instead of then describing what you want to somebody, like Barclay Williams, you can take this down and show him. He'll probably go, yeah, I've got one of them. Right. So now we'll put everything so we know I need a screen and a little aluminium disc. The aluminium disc that was on the back of the valve chest, can you remember when I took it to bits? I think that's that one there. We'll have a look. So I'll just pop all this back in the bag for the minute. Everything goes in there. So that would check number 2. I'll be careful with this one, there's some delicate shims in here. So, number 2 again. Same thing with this. Got a wire wheel. This hasn't had a polish yet. Where's that shadow coming from? You see the pitting there. Again, that's where the surface rust was on the side. This is brushed up nicely, isn't it? Got rid of all the surface rust scale from in there. Got a bit of Scotch Brite down the side, cleaned that out. The little shim pack, there's 6 shims here. They're very delicate, you've got to be really careful with them. Because they're just, obviously shims are very thin. Plates had a bit of a... That looks very coppery, doesn't it? On the side of there. Oh, there's another one, look. It's not copper, is it? Not... Gordon was... Right, so, number 2. What have I got out of number 2? Number 2, we've got the insert. We've got the cap. I bought a pack of new 1/8 balls for that. And as I say, I'm convinced that that little washer, that little aluminium disc with a hole in it, is in the bag with the dump valve. Positive it is. So the ball and the little washer go on the bottom, the spring goes in with the dump valve. Dump valve screws in on top of it. Oops, there's the baby in. Hello, my little darling. The chick from the first brood keeps coming back. And I'm not sure if Oh, she's having herself a bite to eat. Daddy keeps trying to learn where the food is. I feed them in the yard. Daddy keeps trying to learn where the food is because I think he needs to concentrate his efforts on this new batch. See our little one sitting there? I know it's a bit shaky because I've got the zoom right in. I'm trying to hold it as steady as I can for you. That's one of the chicks from the first brood. I've got some food on the floor there for her. Daddy keeps bringing her back and plonking her down there. But she's bigger than her mother. I think with her mother sitting on the nest for so long, she's lost a canny bit of weight. A little tiger here. Bigger than her mother. Right. There's a shim in there. Right. So what we've got here, that little bolt is out the side of the valve chest. I took it out because I thought it might be holding the spool in, and yeah, it wasn't. All it is a gallery. It's a drill and port, so it can connect the internals up. Right. This one here is the relief valve. So we've got the cap, the spring, the needle, the seat, two shims that came out, and the little aluminium disc again with a hole in the bottom. So we've got all of those internals on that one. Right, I'll go through the rest of them. I'll quickly show you the spool. The spool number 8. There we go, the spool. So we knocked it out, it's had a bit of a polish. There is a tiny bit of pitting right round this top edge here. But that's not going to matter because it's this piece here that seals internally. All our nuts, washers, springs, all had a bath and a clean, a wire brush up. And that is a broken circlip. That's what happens when you use the wrong circlip pliers and you didn't realise till too late. And my valve chest still sitting in diesel. I brought it up here just to show you in the light. But my valve chest still sitting in diesel. The insert for the lowering valve is still stuck. But I say we will have a word with Barclay Williams. See if there's a remedy for that. So I was on YouTube last night watching one of my favourite channels, Bundy Bear Shed, Lance McCaskill down in Queensland, Australia. If you're into restoring tractors, you've got to go and see Lance's channel. He's the master. He is the master. I took a lot of inspiration from Lance, learned an awful lot from his videos. I found his channel, I think about a year and a half ago during COVID, and when I was busy with my listers. And the information and the knowledge that fella's got's amazing. I know I'm doing Davy Browns, and Lance does primarily Massey Ferguson's. He has done a John Deere, or a couple of John Deeres. He has actually done, I think, the steering column off a Davy Brown as well. One of my lads come looking for, if I had done the video of my steering column, and I had already done the steering column, so I sent him to Lance's channel to have a look at the way Lance did the recirculating ball nut on there. It can be quite tricky trying to get it all balanced up to pop the balls back in, keep it all together. Yes, but if you're stuck for a job, right, if you've got something that you cannot get done, go and have a look at Lance's channel, because he'll done something similar. And don't forget, all tractors are very similar in their basic designs, right? They're all very similar. We've all had the same problems, and other people have some very ingenious ways of getting bits unstuck or getting bits out. Like for instance, my valve chest, right? I watched a YouTube channel and the guy from America put an anchor bolt in, tighten it up, pull it out. It works, you know what I mean? And his valve chest worked afterwards. So it's not like you were destroying it that way. There's a wealth of information out there, a wealth of knowledge. Just go and look for it. You learn something new every single day of your life. If you don't, I've got a feeling that you're dead. You know what I mean? If you're not learning, there's something sadly wrong. And don't be frightened to ask other people for help. Don't be frightened to take advice and guidance from other people. There's some really clever people out there.
Well, went Armour car boot sale today and picked up quite a few nice little things. So, first couple of things we've got. 2 half-inch steel twist bits. I've just looked on the internet. They're about £8 each. You buy a pack of 5 for 40 quid. Brand new. Never been used. Pair of them. Right. Next thing. Morse taper sleeve. As an apprentice, I had a full set of these. I don't know whatever happened to them. So I'm starting to replace them. This is a 2-to-1 Morse taper sleeve. We're going to go through this in a minute. Morse taper sleeve. A little deburring tool. With 4 brand new ends and 3 of these. Don't know what they're for, but I'll find out. 3 of them brand new. And my wife says, you've got some of them bigger ones. I can't help myself. Moore and Wright 4-inch dividers. Right. Drills on the internet, 5 for £40. That's about £8 a piece. 2-to-1, £9. Right. M&S supplies, £9. Little deburring tool with replaceable tips, and this is, wait a minute, let's get my glasses on. This is a Vargas Stelram, right? Vargas Stelram. It's a little grand little thing. Extends out. You can get it down into the balls, it can collapse it up. Pull the little collar back, change the tips out. Up. Cracking. I've always fancied one of them. Right. There, on the internet, 15 quid, $23, 15 quid-ish. There, I was really surprised at them, 23 quid for a pair of 4-inch dividers, Moore and Wright. How much for the lot? Right, 2 drills, taper sleeve, deburrer with replaceable bits, 4-inch dividers, £3.50. That's what I like about car boot sales. You get the car boot sales and there's people there haven't got a clue what they're selling, but they're just pleased to get rid of them, aren't they? So that's why I like car boot sales. You get loads of goodies. So, as I say, steam rallies are on this weekend up at Corbridge. If the weather stays good, we'll go up, have a look around, shoot some video. Just had a look outside there. It's awfully black outside there at the minute. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right. Well, thank you very much for visiting. Don't forget now, if you think our channel's good, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. please don't miss a video for the sake of a subscription. We're up to 196. As I say, it'd be nice to get it up to 200, wouldn't it, by the end of the month? But the video I popped out last week, I think it was last week, pulling those seal carriers out. Within 3 days, 1,500 views. But I've only got 196 subscribers. So if all you people who are viewing the videos would just subscribe, it would be great. It would help the channel out tremendously. But, you know, we're happy that you're viewing. We're happy that you keep coming back. But if you subscribed, we would let you know when we release a video. You haven't got to go and looking for them. Right. Thanks very much. See you next week. Don't forget, like and subscribe. See you next week. Take care. Ta-da.